This is SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com. Now, your host. Visit SWBC.com. Now, your host, Shannon Gross.
Wednesday night, 7 p.m. during Dallas Cowboys football season, and that can mean only one thing on 105.3 The Fan. It is time for Cowboys Crosstalk. I am Shannon Gross. I am here every week with my co-host and partner on Hanging with the Boys, Nate Newton. How you doing tonight, Nate?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great up in this. Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Got my boy up in here.
We'll get to him in 1 second,
yeah,
and I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah.
To your left, to my right,
Corey.
joining us from the flagship, the mothership, 105.3
Yeah.
The Fan, Corey Majors, former intern of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Corey.
I'm very
Corey,
happy to be
what's
here
up,
tonight.
baby?
Very happy to be here, sitting next to Nate Newton and our other guests.
It has been too long. It's
Yes.
been, what, 2 years?
Yeah, because I was last year. I was at
Virtual.
the house. It was virtual last year with Woody. So yeah, no, it's
It was
great to be
virtual
here.
who?
With
Darren Wilson.
Darren, yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow.
It is the holiday season because Cowboys Club is packed with Christmas cheer and Christmas parties. We got a full house tonight, and it's a good thing because it is not often, and in fact maybe never, Nate,
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
you have ever had a roommate on the show, and not just a roommate, but a roommate for 9 years with the Dallas Cowboys. Would you like to introduce your former roommate?
Big Tony Tolbert,
Welcome
baby.
to the show, Tony.
Defensive
What's
end
up, man? How you doing
extraordinaire.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm great, man. I'm great. So, what have you been up to, Tony?
Oh man, I just been trying to take it easy, trying to stay in shape.
You look like you can still play.
Well, don't let the looks deceive you. I'm not gonna fool myself. And I've been going back and forth to Jackson State with Nate and helping Dion with some of his D linemen and stuff like that, and just hanging out.
Yeah. Were y'all there for the victory?
No, but I watched what I could.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it, man. I'm going to tell you, he's been back more than me. I went during the off-season a lot. But during the season, he's been back for a game or two, and he's helped. He breaks down film with the defensive line coach on the players. He tried to tutor a couple of players, but just like all the young guys, they don't want to hear what you got to say until the game over. Man, I sure should have used the game over.
much.
Shut up.
What has it been like for you guys knowing Prime as a teammate? Nate, I know you're still really close to him. You talk to him all the time, and you know he's always been a mentor. He's always taken care of the younger generation. But seeing him slide into that coaching role and then to be able to do what he did, like, how was that to be a part of that and watch that, and how did it make you feel to watch Prime do that?
Well, it's been exciting because you feel like you're a part of it, knowing all the people that's within the facility, and watching the growth of the team itself. They haven't had an off season. They came in and started playing in the spring, and then they went directly to the fall season, and just watching the growth from the spring to now, and what they've accomplished within, I guess, a year basically.
Yes.
It's been phenomenal, especially for the city of Jackson.
I'm always curious about coaching style. Is he hands-on? I got to get out there and show you guys how it's done, or is it, hey, I'm going to let the coaches handle all this? Or
He can answer that.
He will let the coaches coach, and he will get on his coaches, but he will also get with his players, especially skill position players. He will get with them. Now, the offensive defensive line, he'll rap with them, but things that he know, quarterback play, he be on them. And he ain't. Nick Saban is his boy. Y'all see the commercials, right? Yeah, Nick Saban is his boy. He has a lot of contact with Alabama and the way they do things because he inspired for bigger things to happen for the university as well as the whole SWAC.
Think he's going to stick with this coaching thing, or is this just kind of a?
Yes, it's in his blood.
He's in
It's
it,
in
huh?
his blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Tony, are you still here in Dallas, or?
I'm living in South Lake.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're still in the area?
Yeah, I'm still in the area.
Rich kid. I mean, that was to South Lake. Did I say more?
Right now, I'm currently watching R.J. Maryland, Russ's son.
Big Russ' son.
Yeah, they're going through their playoff journey right now, and it's been fun to watch. and kind of watch his growth and maturity. And they're 2 games away from being state champs again. So it's been pretty interesting watching that ride so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it been watching?
This is weird. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me
Corey ain't said a word, man.
This is weird. So
you can't stop him on the radio.
Nate's over here like elbowing him in the ribs.
All right. So Charles and you were on a poster on my wall growing up. This is like what's weird for me is sitting here next to you right now, and then you talk about Russell Maryland. In 4th grade, his cousin was my teacher, and he came to speak to my class, and I just remember being a 4th grader. I'm tall now, but I remember looking it up at him and just being like, oh, my God. You guys, it's like y'all became legends by winning these Super Bowls, and it's just kind of being, I know what I do. I know what I do for a living, and I get to talk to you guys all the time. It's just really cool to see you after seeing, I was sitting there at my desk looking up every day going, maybe one day. So,
how'd it work out for you, Corey?
Nope, didn't make it that far.
So what do you think about the current state of the Dallas Cowboys?
Offensively, they'll go as far as the team. The team will be carried by the offense. They have a great set of receivers, probably elite depth. Quarterback play is great. You want Zeke to be healthy. He's currently struggling health-wise, but he's still just his presence on the field gives you something to worry about. And then the O-line, can they sustain what they've been doing early in the year? Defensively, they're getting Gregory back. D-Law got a chance to play, and you saw his impact last week. And I'm expecting big things, to be honest. And the only thing that's probably going to hold them down is health. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest concern.
Nate, I'm going to get to you in a minute. I see you wanting to talk. I'm going to go.
I'm just saying.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Corey, tell me how you thinking. And Nate, I've got a follow-up after Corey, and then we'll get to you.
So. Oh, man, I've been on their slow playing track for this whole time. Like the middle of the season's kind of a lull. You had your bread and butter early in the season. You got to see how it all worked. Injuries are kind of existing where they are right now, and then on the backside of the season, that's where you really want to launch off. You want to climb that mountain. You want to get to the top of the hill. And I'm like, man, they're just waiting. They're waiting. They got that extra game. They added the extra game, and so they have to wait on that just a little bit to make sure the bodies are right. McCarthy pays attention to what these guys' health is all about, and that's a really important thing because he wants to make sure they're healthy, not just for each game, but at the end of the season, that GPS that he's always talking about.
What if the man would have thought about you like that? So
I would have been playing for another 4 or 5 years.
That's awesome to hear.
Instead of dying at 9 years.
That's awesome to hear. Players respect that then, huh?
Yeah, they do. Especially when you can turn it into winning. And I'm going to tell you who's been great about that over the years. A lot of people is the Ravens are great about that, by how rested they play. The 49ers used to be excellent. Yeah.
All right, Nate, before I ask you the question, I feel like, you know what's great about this show and what's great about being a Dallas Cowboy fan is every week it changes. Okay. We come in here, and normally I would ask you the same question week in and week out, and it'd be the same consistent answer. But this team comes out of the gate, and it's like, here we go, Super Bowl, baby. And now 4 out of the last 6, you stumbled a little bit. Yeah, you had some health concerns. Things happened. You had the COVID stuff that went through the team. The way that I feel, and we talk about this on our show, and me and Nate have been battling all week about this. The way that I feel about this is I'm still confident, but I'm a little concerned. Not worried, a little concerned, still confident, but I would love for them to go into Washington and beat the brakes off these guys to remind me how they came out at the beginning of the season and show me offensively we can do it. Defensively, we can hold you to 17 points or fewer. Show me. I'll let Nate tell you how he feels. Go ahead, Nate. I don't want to speak for you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You might as well, because you've heard it. What's the worry?
He's not worried. I'm a little concerned.
These guys has to prove one thing, and that is when they face a top 10 defense, or defense that can play in the top 10 level, answer the bell. We have everybody back except Zeke. Mm-hmm. We have everybody. We have our offensive line in play. Regardless of what Mr. Jones said, we're going to have to get the right tackle, get that settled down. If you want to go at the left guard, I don't care which one. We got Coach Philman back. Coach Phil Bunn, excuse me. We have him back. So we stable on the offense. You got 3 cold receivers, man. You got a back like Tony, like the Parlak kid that can run the rock, man. Get him outside a little bit. You don't just bang him up in there. We'll have another Zeke on the hand. Just keep, but get him to the outside. Make a mismatch on the receiver on the safeties. Now defense, come on, bro. We growing every week.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
We like weeds in the St. Augustine grass, baby, in the middle of summer with water upon it. We growing, baby.
Before we get too far, clarify what you meant by everybody except Zeke, because there's some people listening go, wait a minute, Zeke's out?
No, Zeke's not out, but I'm saying Zeke is beat up. And right now, you can't go in there the way they are playing. Jack Del Rio got this defense playing without their 2 stud defensive ends. So they're playing like a top 10 defense. We have to go in there and show that we're dominant. We have too many weapons on the outside. The worry about whether we can run the ball. We can do the West Coast thing. Toss it out of the backfield to this kid. The only issue we ever had was what our defense was going to do. We was like a one-legged man trying to kick a dog in the rib. It wasn't going to happen. So, and that's because we had only Parson, right? We only had Parson.
Like living with them too.
Yes, we only had Parson. Now we got D-Law back. We got Gregory coming back. We got Gallimore coming back. We got your boy coming off suspension for punching somebody a cheap shot. They should have been them 8 games. But anyway, we got Tristan coming back. This defense finna go off, bro.
Tony, who's the guest tonight? You or Nate?
Control
Control your guy, man. He's like super homer tonight, man. I can't.
Hey, I've been home all my life since I was 10 years old.
I know it.
I'm kind of curious about Zeke. Last year, he wasn't quite prepared to take on the load whenever Dak went down. It just seemed like, okay, now it's on you. And it was like, oh, I'm still not quite in shape. I got all these other things. And I often wonder, and this is just a theory I'm running with this year, he let his team down last year. He saw Dak Prescott in the lowest point, injured on the field. He saw that, and he came into this season saying, I can't let that happen again. I'm not going to let that happen again. And you heard the quote today where he said, they're going to have to drag me off the field.
Well, we're going to have to drag.
Is that a detriment to the team whenever you have a guy who's a leader that everybody kind of looks to for toughness and all these qualities? Is that a detriment to the team? And who has to say something to him?
Tony, you go first.
Well, last year, everybody was killing Zeke about, him falling off the cliff, etc. I think last year, you don't have a threat from a quarterback standpoint. Everybody's going to load up the box and take the one thing you do well away from you. We didn't have a quarterback that can throw anything last year. This year you have Dak back. It should open up the field. You just got to remember, they were averaging Dak on there with almost 170 to 200 yards the first 5-6 games of the season. And things start to kind of unravel when guys got hurt and, Dak missed some games. I still think his health, when Zeke is healthy, he may not run and break away and get these big long runs, but 4 or 5 yards a pop in this offense is huge because you can dictate what you want to do play action wise. You have to move the safeties up and then throw over the top. It makes an equal ball game, dude.
All right, let's take our first break. Do you have something to say about Zeke? You can say it after the break.
Yeah, brother, let's rock and roll,
right,
let's rock and roll.
Let's take our first break. Baby. When we come back, we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk some more Zeke. We definitely going to talk more about this defense. We got to talk about the game in Washington. We're going to see if Nate can keep the name right of the team in Washington.
The football team.
The whole show.
The football team.
We'll see if it's programmed in him or if we broke him on hanging with the boys this week or not. Our guest of honor tonight, Tony Tolbert. We will be right back. You're listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
to SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back to the show, Cowboys Club in Frisco, where it is definitely the festive season. Lots of partying and mingling going on here. And we're mingling as well because we have Cowboys Crosstalk live from Cowboys Club. And to my right, I'm mingling with Corey Majors. Corey,
yes, sir.
Corey. Who are you mingling with to your right?
I'm sitting next to Nate Newton tonight.
Nate, who are you mingling with to your right?
Since they turned on the lights, we can find Tony Tolbert. That's who we're mingling with.
Here we go. Here we go.
Remember, this is a live show. Y'all are old roommates. Okay. This is a live show. So, hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Our good friends at SWBC Mortgage are here in the crowd like they are every Wednesday night, and they have customized solutions for individuals and businesses, and they're just a click away.
That's good.
Wait till after the show and go visit SWBC.com to learn more and start your next adventure.
All right.
All right, and we're going to start our next adventure now. Let's go. Nate, do you have anything to say about Zeke? Everybody else got to say something.
I love Zeke. He's banged up. I know if we got to use him on third downs, let's use him on third downs. But we have a guy, backup Clemens or somebody, but backup. Let's use him a little bit. Let's take advantage of Tony. Let's use him maybe 10 or 15 passes and 4 or 5 runs, because I'm telling you, if we get this kid out on the edge, or we get him on the safety, or we get him on a linebacker, this kid can do some damage. But don't just run him up in the, even though Coach McCarthy on today, we like he can get straight ahead. Oh, get him broke. Get him broke, then what we going to do? That's what you're going to have.
Hey, can we not just use Micah for third down runs? Is that not an option?
Don't do that.
What do you mean?
Don't do that.
I want all the defensive players can play offense. They all look like they can.
Don't do that.
All right,
Ain't number one prime.
So Corey, I'll let you pick since you're our guest from 105.3 The Fan. I want to spend a whole segment, or at least the majority of a segment. I want to do one on Micah.
Okay.
And I want to do one on what these guys, their playing days and fun with these guys. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's start with Micah here. Let's start with the defense a little bit, because I got
Micah,
2 questions
Do you
specifically.
have a middle name? Does Micah have a middle name?
The Lion. That's what I'm just going to call him the Lion. But I have 2 specific questions about it, and one's kind of a what would you rather have. But the one on Micah right now, with DeMarcus Lawrence coming back, with Randy Gregory coming back, everybody keeps saying put him on the edge. Just don't worry about it. Just put him on the edge. And I'm like, no. Just let him roam. Let those other guys get up there and do that job, and let him roam around and do what Jerry said, be a disruptor. What would y'all prefer? Would y'all rather have him on the edge or just coming from everywhere?
I'd prefer him at the linebacker spot, especially if Gregory's coming back. You have 2 quality ends that can make plays, rushing the passer as well as playing the run well. And then it's nothing like watching him and the rest of the linebacker crew fill holes. You could just do what you want, fill a hole, drop back and pass, blitz him, and he could be disruptive that way as well.
You know what's amazing is we got 2 excellent defensive ends. Now we don't have to worry about DeMarcus Lawrence being double-teamed because we have Randy Gregory. You keep this kid at linebacker because that will help Leighton Vander Esch, and that will help number 42. I can't call the kid that used to play Keanu. It would help them. It would help them be better linebackers. Now, as we get closer and closer to the playoffs, we can pick our spots with him. Now we get Gallimore going. We get these other guys going. We get Big Basham going. Now we get all the pieces going. They're going to have to find room now to put him on the field as a rusher. But now he can be a secret weapon instead of saying, because when the playoffs come, if you stick him at one of them defensive ends, he's going to run another way.
All right, Super Bowl champions validating my opinion. So I really appreciate y'all helping me out with that one. And the other thing, too, is I do wonder, if it wasn't Dan Quinn, do you think that other defensive coordinators would have the same vision for what they are using Micah Parsons for? The creativity there.
That's a good question. If you watch him coming out of Penn State, he was kind of a joke on that defense where they lined him. He would blitz from the linebacker spot. Periodically, he would rush from the defensive end spot. So they probably took what they saw on film and created situations that was best for him. Unfortunately, you didn't see his linebacker skills because everybody was hurt this year so far, and out with injuries or whatever. And now you're getting the best of this kid. He's just a freak. I mean, he's a heck of an athlete. And the one thing he has a great mindset for playing defense. You could tell he embraces the contact, the physicality, the mental part of the game, and he's willing to put himself out front. When he plays bad, he'll let everybody know. That's really rare for a rookie. Usually rookies, and I'm going to speak for myself, we try to hide and not watch film. Right. This kid is willing to put his face on his game performance, and that's very rare coming from a guy like that.
When I look at the kid, man.
You remember that picture we took before the show started?
Yeah.
Nate just now, he's been trying to send the tweet since the show started.
It's been a minute.
He just now got it sent out.
Does anybody know how to post pictures to Facebook?
Right, yeah.
Man, I'm going to tell you something about this kid, man. And every show that I do, every time I have a chance to talk to the kid, this is what I pray for. And y'all, this is where I have been worried. Corey, I'm talking to you, but I'm trying to connect.
All right, I'm right here.
Please let him stay hungry.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's not, though. That's the thing is, this dude,
please let him stay hungry. Because I've seen kids come in here the last 5 years. Wow, he's great. Then the next year, oh my God, what happened to this kid? Mm-hmm. Please stay hungry. That's all I ask.
How do you as a coach, position coach, head coach, players, whatever, you come in and you play for the Dallas Cowboys, and you guys know the weight that star carries. Like, there's practice squad guys out signing autographs and making money for appearances and stuff. You come in as a rookie, you blow up, you're in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year, you're in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, mm-hmm. right? How do you keep someone grounded as a coach, as a teammate? How do you keep them from getting out of
Don't answer the Jimmy. This is a new era. Don't answer from 2011 to now.
Do both answers. How did you do it back then, and how would you do it now?
I can't answer it other than Jimmy. So
you answer the Jimmy way.
Jimmy would humble you by kind of putting pressure on you from the standpoint of don't let your ego get in the way. And he would say things to you to kind of hold you back from the standpoint of getting a big head. And the first time you would get a big head and you go out and play really, really bad, he would give it to you.
In front of everybody.
Just to bring you back down. And sometimes, when we used to lose games, it was because we were our worst enemies.
Right.
We would get to the point, we didn't give a dang about certain things or
coverages.
Just 1 week or coverages. And we always had a couple games where we just went bad just because, either we didn't prepare well, we didn't take things serious, and then the next week, whoever was behind that was going to get it. So, the Jimmy way is basically, hey, man, you keep playing football, you're doing what you need to do, but remember, this is about the team. This ain't about you. So,
Corey, go ahead, Nate.
The new era, guys. You have to be very, very personable. I have to care about Corey.
Yeah.
But the difference between Quinn, because the defensive coordinator we had before, he loved people, and the guy was great, but he didn't know how to force a guy into the movie room, the film room. Mm-hmm. When Quinn brought these dudes in, they all had to be filtered through him, mm-hmm. because he went out there with the defensive line in training camp. You saw it.
Yeah, we saw it.
Man, he would be over there with the linebackers, so you wasn't gonna get past him, mm-hmm. because every aspect of this defense, even though he let the coaches coach, he was putting a stamp on it, man. Mm-hmm. He was, hey, man, what you gonna do, Corey? Is you gonna let my man Shannon down? Is you not gonna get your film work in? And so it's holding each other accountable. And then they got the crazy dude. KZ is his name. Which one they got?
KZ.
Yeah, KZ. I mean, he crazy. He's certified crazy.
Oh, so, you're talking about J-Rod.
No, J-Rod.
Yeah,
he crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the man, you gonna watch film today? You be yeah, dog. You was getting ready to walk out the door. You turn I got you.
Nate came up with maybe the greatest nickname for a football player ever. He was on our show hanging with the boys, and he's the most mild-mannered, quiet guy. But when he gets on the field, it's like this switch flips, and he's screaming at everybody and yelling. What was your nickname for?
I forgot.
Straight Jacket. Called him Straight Jacket. Like when he gets on game day.
I almost called him a serial killer, but I know that ain't gonna work. I know that ain't gonna work in today's society.
Straight Jacket's
Hey, Tony, he worse than you, because Tolbert Tolbert basically the same way.
He had a switch?
Oh, man, he would just be chilling. But when it's come time to crank it up on that field, especially if the offense wasn't doing it, this is what I didn't like about our defense. Because they never got any credit. Our top 5, always in the top 5, 7 years straight?
Yeah.
In the top 5.
Yep.
Okay? They never got no credit. So we, as offensive linemen, had to be it. They didn't cuss at Emmett. Well, sometimes they did. They didn't never cuss at Troy. And Mike was their boy. So guess who had to get cussed out? The offensive line.
Pretty much.
We got you the ball the second time in a row, you fat, greasy son of a...
Okay, all right. You know what? And I want to know about that too. What would you rather have? All right. This a lot of people are complaining about. Hey, we're getting interceptions, we're getting sacks, but I'd rather not give up chunk plays. Would you rather have the turnovers that give the offense the ball back, or would you rather not give up plays that are just big plays that don't even necessarily lead to touchdowns all the time?
Hold that thought.
All right.
We're going to take our second break.
I like it.
Right. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. And I'm going to ask a question, too, to give y'all time to think about it. I want to throw Micah in this question, but I think it's a no-brainer. Are you more surprised by the play of Trayvon or Randy Gregory coming off of last season? I want to throw Micah in there, but I think everybody would say Micah. But my question, Corey's question, and then let's go back to the good old days at some point before the show's over. We'll do all that.
The good old days are here, my friend.
Oh, that and so much more.
Is getting healthy, friend.
You are listening to
Let's
Cowboys
go,
Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
To SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back, SWBC Mortgage. Thank you for sponsoring the show and join more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit SWBCmortgage.com to find a pro today. And, man, all the stars are out tonight. We got John Hickman in the house.
Yes,
we got
sir. Hick.
John's in the house. Rowdy's in the house. Corey Majors is in the house. Nate Newton is in the house. And our guest of honor, Tony Tolbert's in the house. Welcome back to the show. All right, Corey, your question first. Go ahead.
All right, so, Diggs getting these interceptions, the sacks are fantastic, but a lot of people are like, look, the interceptions I don't care about that much. I would prefer not to give up these big chunk plays. I like the interceptions. Give the offense the ball back as much as you want, but for the people that are having that debate out there, would you rather get the ball back to your offense, get the sacks, or not give up the chunk plays?
Well, as a defensive lineman, of course, we want the sacks. But it all goes hand in hand. If you have great coverage, you're going to get some sacks. And if you have, get a lot of pressure on the quarterback like they've been doing, the quarterback's going to give you the opportunity to intercept the ball. So it's kind of a 50-50 deal. The big thing you don't want to do from a defensive standpoint is allow a team to run on you, because that takes away time of possession, opportunities for your offense. But everything else, hey, man, interception, sacks, that's just part of it.
I try to – in today's NFL, you got to limit those chunk plays to maybe 1.5. No more than 3, especially not with 2 minutes left in the game or 2 minutes left going into the half. You cannot have a chunk play. It just changes the whole deal around. You see teams down. It's becoming routine where you see teams down by 3. And the offense like, yep, it's over. Easy touchdown because you just drive right down the field. Everybody's doing it now. So what you got to do is limit those chunk plays in certain parts of the game. It's not that you get chunk plays. It's when you get those chunk plays.
All right, Corey, so my question, I'll start with you, is what are you more surprised by or impressed with, the play of Trayvon Diggs, which we saw flashes of that last year, but not near the level of what we've seen this year, or Randy Gregory, which we all thought he had this in him, and, he's missed some time, but the time that he did put in, super impressive. Which one do you think?
And Parsons.
But if you put Parsons in there,
I'll choose Micah Parsons then, please.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can speak on all of them, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, even Jaron Kearse, we were just talking about him. His play, that wasn't his identity elsewhere.
Right.
He comes here, and Dan Quinn's like, watch this. We're going to do this with him. I think it's Diggs. I thought I saw it on the tape whenever I was watching him at Alabama. I was like, all right, the guy catches a ball like a receiver. That's just what he does. But the consistency, how often he's getting interceptions and how he just kind of makes it look like it's easy, and also because he's out there every week. I think with Randy, I'm like, okay, it's a little bit here and a little bit there, and I want him to be out there all the time. But I'm more surprised that Diggs was able to do the streak that he had and then has been able to just stick to it. Man, he makes catching a football look so easy.
The one he got in New Orleans was just like, he went and got it.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And it makes the other guys play like that too.
Because they want to compete. They're like,
makes the other guys.
Okay, so that was something. I remember we had Leon on my first time to go out to camp. Yeah, Leon Lett. We had him on. I asked him I said, are you competitive? And he popped a bunch of bubble wrap, and he did it in 7 seconds. I thought it was amazing. But we had him on. We were talking to him, and he was telling me, you guys, y'all used to, on third down, y'all wanted to compete to hear your name called. Y'all wanted to be the guy that got your name called over everything because y'all wanted to be the ones. And that's something that, I know I talked to Brandon Carr. He was like, third down's money down. And so what is the perspective whenever it comes to you guys wanting that energy and kind of feeding off each other for those moments?
Well, it starts in practice. If you practice against the number one guys all the time, like some guys, teams practice 2s versus 3s. We didn't practice that way. It was always the starters versus the starters. And it was, and I'm practicing against Nate, Larry Allen, Big E. I mean, I'm surprised I'm still living, to be honest. But I'm practicing against these guys, and when you get in the game, it's just that much easier. And from a competitive standpoint, in our D-line locker room, in our meetings, we would find each other for loafing to the ball, getting off the ball late, just anything. And if you pay enough money, $5 here, it was $5 for everything. But if you pay enough money and you get that instilled in you, like this is not acceptable to loaf or not run after the ball or whatever, it ingrains in your mind to be competitive. And then the fact that, we had Charles over there who was always in everybody's ear, it just added an extra fuel to that. So I guess, the drive to be successful within yourself, and then the accountability that was surrounded just not by the defense, but the whole team, that'll keep you up there where you wanted to be, the best that you can be.
What about you, Nate? Trayvon or
I'm gonna tell
Randy?
you something, man. Randy showed me something. I figured I had him on 9 sacks this year. I said he'll get 9 sacks.
Wow.
I had him at training camp. That's what I was telling Brad Sham, because one day he had a good day against Steele, and then the next day Tyrone came and
got his hand on it. Put them grown man hands on it.
So I had him in 9 sacks, but then when he started playing well and then listen to him talk. When your talk is equal to your play, and I ain't talking about the bragging. Everybody can get out and brag, but the intelligence that equals to your play, that was great. That's why I love this young kid Parsons. His voice equals his play. He ain't out there chirping, running his mouth. I mean, this dude got a flag for kneeing a dude in the head by mistake. And he was about to cry. Man, how? I'm just playing, So, hey, I love guys like that. And I want my man to mature just a little bit more.
Who's that?
The cornerback. He has to mature just a little bit more. You have to be consistently good on the small things so the big plays will come even easier. Yeah. He's just got to mature a little bit more, because you don't want to wind up like a lot of guys do. You're a big play guy. We can depend on you 4 or 5 games. All of a sudden, you're getting burned. He's got to mature just a little bit more.
What about you, Tony?
Diggs.
Yeah.
I think, the fact that he played receiver, you could see those skills coming in within, him closing on an interception in New Orleans. And sometimes he's running the routes for wide receivers. I mean, you could tell he watches film, and he's under control at what he does.
Right.
And that's the big thing. When you a DB, you out there by yourself, confidence is a big thing. And he looks like he has a lot of confidence,
He definitely knows the route tree.
Oh, yeah, he does.
And situational downs and distance, and which narrows it down to the routes they're going to run. And then,
And Coach Harris is this guy. Him and JR, and Coach Witt and Coach Harrison is his guys, right?
Yeah.
He got some knowledgeable coaches.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I think my favorite line from Nick Saban. He was on the Manning cast during the Cowboys game, and he had an interception. He made a play, and he said, "Listen, we teach all our cornerbacks how to do it. Not all of them can do what he just did, though."
Right.
And that's when you got something special. Hey, they all taught it, but can they actually complete it? Can they execute it?
Corey, you had this guy on a poster on your wall. What do you want to ask Tony Tolbert?
I wish you'd have sent me a text earlier and made me think about this one now. How difficult was it to maintain success?
Maintain success. Good question.
Or maintain the idea, the personality to continue to work the way you did. Because whenever like I said, Darren Woodson complimented you. Every one of your former teammates complimented you on being lunch pail guy. You showed up, you put in the work, you were there, you did everything. And they knew that you were the most reliable dude on that defense.
Just staying hungry, being humble, and
had a family to feed.
Yeah, family to feed, all of the above.
Yes.
Kid in diapers. But the thing about it is, a lot of stuff wasn't expected from me. Even
A linebacker out of El Paso.
I was a linebacker, a converted linebacker that had to put on 30 pounds to play defensive line. And so it took me a few years to get the weight on. And the big thing that, like Troy got drafted first round, he had to play. I got a chance to sit behind Jeff Colt and Ed Jones and learn the game. And Jeff Colt, he taught me how to watch film and do those kind of things. Ed, I
didn't want to take the man job.
Yeah, and then I asked Ed, I said, Ed, you didn't really talk to me as a rookie. And he told me he didn't like to get close to rookies because they didn't, they usually got cut. And I had to think about that at first, but just watching them and how they handled their business, and then getting a chance to grow into my body. And then Mike Warsick, he had a big impact on me too, because he helped me get the weight on to be successful. And
Haley, don't forget about your boy.
Yeah, and then Haley coming. Just his presence on the other side and going through those 2 Super Bowls with San Francisco. I mean, it was just a perfect storm for me.
Charles has been on the show. You talk about Charles nonstop about being a big part of making you who you, was it the fear of the trash talk? Was that the biggest driving factor?
No, because I could talk noise.
Yeah,
back then I could talk noise.
Yeah, both of them could talk.
Yeah. What drove me about Charles, and I tell people, a lot of people talk, brother, but his talk and his walk were the same.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to ask me. Him and Tolbert, I'm telling you, the first Pro Bowl I made, him and Tolbert was with me every day after practice, on the stepper, on the Stairmaster, walking around the track, lifting weights. They were with me. See, that's what I'm trying to do. A lot of these guys talk in church, but do your words go along with your play? Their words went along with their play.
Awesome. Let's take our last break. When we come back,
I thought we were through. I was trying to close out with that.
Oh, no.
I thought I could get
one more. We got one more. I think we got to talk about
we
the
got to
game.
talk about the game
Yeah, we
in
gotta talk about the
Washington.
game.
What game? Oh, that's already had.
He was watching film.
goodness.
See, he already got on the shirt.
Yeah.
He already there.
You know
he's a
what?
Washington
You got on
fan?
the colors. No, they got on the colors of the Washington football team.
This is purple.
You got your Homer Cowboy gear on, like every week.
That's right.
All right. That's
the day
okay.
I
That's
die.
all right. You know what? Let's talk about the Washington
Cowboys
football
for
team.
life.
Didn't you play for the Washington football team?
They cut me. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Thank you.
So many more things with our special guest of
Thank
honor,
you, Washington.
Tony Tolbert. You're listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
To SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back. I cannot believe this is the last segment of the show. This has been a fun show. Corey Majors joining us from 105.3 The Fan.
Got to be here.
Nate Newton joining us from who knows where, but he's here. He's here every week with me.
I live in Wiley, Texas.
The great Tony Tolbert here with us.
He live in South Lake, Texas. It's a big difference.
I'm Shannon Gross. I'm here every Wednesday with Nate. And SWBC PEO, they're here every week as well, helping to alleviate the HR administrative burden that comes with running a business. Leave the worrying to them. Visit swbcpeo.com to find out more. And fellas, this is the last segment of the show. We're going to get to the Washington football game in a minute. But there's one thing, Nate, that I'm going to put you on the spot. And then I'm going to put you on the spot, Tony, because I'm going to flip it.
And I'm just going to sit here.
The hard part about this, Nate, I'm going to ask you to just give me a good Tony Tolbert story.
Oh, boy.
The tricky part is going to be finding one you can tell on the air.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it's simple because it used to make me so mad. He would beat me to the room every Saturday. And he would wake up before me and be gone out of the room no matter what time the game. So one time I said, you know what? I'm beating him to the room. I get to the room at 11 o'clock. We ain't supposed to check in till 12. I get to the room over there by the airport at 11 o'clock. He's sitting there.
11 in the morning?
11 in the morning. I'm like, do this dude not love his wife? I know I wasn't no good man, but he was a good man. He was a good man. Everybody on all the wives like, don't let your husband hang with Nate. But anyway, then I said, you know what? I'm gonna get up earlier than him, and because I didn't know whether Tony took a bath, or whether he showered, whether he shaved, whether he did the other things sitting down. I didn't know. I said, I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him. So I get up at 6 o'clock. He's gone. Mm-hmm. He gone. Mm-hmm. So what was your hours, brother? I don't know.
What were you doing?
What were you doing?
And how did you wake up without him knowing?
Man, I would hit the alarm.
I mean, these ain't small dudes in a hotel room. Like,
and I would stealth out the room, and I'd walk around quiet, tiptoeing, and then do my thing and get out of there.
He'd be gone in the bathroom like, did he take a bath?
Yeah.
Did he shower? Did he take a dump? It's like everything was perfect. And know what I would tell him? And I would just purposely say, Tony, man, I'm going to watch this TV, man. Hey, ain't going to bother me. I look over there, man. He be out 8 inches under the cover. Out. This dude is longer than the bed, but I couldn't even hardly see him in the bed.
So for 9 years, he never beat you to the hotel never beat you leaving the next morning?
No.
That's impressive.
And then I had to hear, when I walk into the room, from the time I walk into the room, how sorry we are as an offense. How they never got no credit.
Oh, he was my therapist at the time.
When he was trying to get that position, that starting position, man, they're not better than me. I'm telling you, I love Jeff Cody. He helped me out, but he's not better than me. I should be in there full time. I'm like, man, I got to hear this. I hear this for 16 more games. But this is the preseason.
Yeah, pretty much.
He never hated on no players, and he never dogged no players. But if he felt he was better, he's like, man, I don't want to go in and just raise a lot of hell, but I deserve to play more. I'm like, hey, bro. I was starting. I'm like, yeah, man, all right, man. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, he wasn't concerned at all.
So, Tony, do you have a Nate story you can tell on the air?
Well, not really, but the one thing that...
Do you want to see me walk around naked in the room?
But the one thing that I found interesting about Nate, he always read Westerns. And I used to work his son out, and his youngest son reads Westerns.
Really?
Yeah, he's big into
Now
Westerns.
he done went to sci-fi.
Now
this dude done went to sci-fi. And I can't stand it.
I know where he got that from.
Yeah, man.
Were you a big – I was going to say Louis L'Amour.
Yeah, he was a big Western book reader, and I was like, damn.
I wasn't the smartest kid in school, right? And I would go to every class and literally be just sitting in class, man. I thought something was wrong with me as a kid. But anyway, one day the English teacher said, hey, read this book. And I want you to explain this book. And I think she was getting at me like, this kid, something wrong with it. Mm-hmm. And so when she gave me this book, I can't remember what the book was about. And I got so engrossed in this book, and then she asked me to stand up and talk about this book, and I almost went word for word with that book. She gave me an A for the class, probably the only A I ever got in my life. And from that point on, I never stopped reading.
Well, this is what I'm good
never
at.
stopped reading. Yeah.
All right. There's a game in Washington this weekend. Cowboys versus the Washington football team. Corey, What do the Cowboys need to do to go up there and win this game?
Stop Antonio Gibson from running all over him. Stop him from picking up big plays. When it's third down, don't let Terry McLaurin be a guy that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to pick up this third down and keep the drive going. That's where I think their offense is at its best, is when Heineke's finding McLaurin and when Gibson's running. So if this defense, I think the defense has been their calling card for a few games now, the Cowboys, that is, I think just keep hanging it on them. Say, hey, y'all go out there and do what y'all are supposed to do. If you keep Gibson from running for big yards and you keep McLaurin under wraps, which that's what I'm really excited about the most, is watching Diggs and McLaurin together. Like this is a matchup I've been looking forward to all season.
He having a big receiver better than the small.
Yeah, so
you ain't worried about McKissick?
I mean, the running game in general. Gibson's the first
That's
one.
That's why we need our defensive ends, why our linebackers can roam a little better.
Yeah, he can catch the ball.
Yeah,
he can catch the ball on you.
398 yards.
Yeah. What about you, Nate?
7.2. No, go ahead on, Tolbert.
Go ahead, Tony.
I think the same thing, stopping the run. The good thing about it, they got a lot of film from last year to watch. So, what we would do, we would stand there, we would be in the meetings and we would watch last year's film, and they would just like put it on purpose, and they would still coach from last year's game, and that would ingrain in your mind like, look, if y'all let this happen again, we were going to be in trouble. Right. And I think there'll be some carryover from last year's game and some animosity up front, especially defensively.
Right.
They'll go out and they'll handle their business. So,
Nate,
what I'm worried about, baby?
What you want me to talk about? What do the Cowboys need to do to keep you from getting worried?
Just make sure they get safely off the plane. Everybody got a parachute. Oh, okay. All right.
See, and that's what when we were asking earlier, I was like, hey, if we win this 2-0, I'm perfectly happy.
See,
Get a win and move on.
We have to win this game.
Yeah,
If we, God forbid, lose this game, what are we going to do with Washington then? Mm-hmm. What are we going to do with Washington? They're going to think they can make a run and control their destiny. We cannot lose this game. The fear of losing this game is you losing.
And it's just as much about giving them confidence to go on a run as it is you winning and putting distance in there, right?
You got to remember, too, they've struggled in December, late in the year, the last few years. And if that comes back where you just one game to mess around and lose or whatever, that's going to creep back in your mind as well. So you got a lot of stuff going on, for this week's big matchup.
All right, it's our brass tacks moment of the show. We do this every week. Liberty Tax is a proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Join the team today at libertytax.com/hiring. Corey, I know it's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. Is it too early for you to give a prediction?
Oh man, I do my bets on Friday, so
okay,
I really got to figure. I got to figure everything out there. But you know what?
Don't do that.
You want me to give a score though? Because I can roll a score out.
Yeah, roll a score out.
I'll roll a score out there because I'm not betting on the Cowboys. I don't want to bet on the Cowboys. It's not something I don't like to do.
Right.
All right, I'll go 52-0. How's that sound?
Hey!
Does that work? 52-0. Let's go ahead and let's see the offense. You got all the receivers back. Let's see the offense do the thing. Hopefully, Tony Pollard's foot is perfectly fine. He'll be able to get out there and break one open. But yes, I'm going for big scores. They've only put up 17 points in the last couple games. And let the defense do what they do and go score some points.
Tony?
I'm going 34-17 Dallas.
34-17. Nate?
I tell you like right here, man, how do you put on a parachute, man? Because I always want to make sure we get safely off the plane because everything going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, bro, it's two ways you can look at this. The Cowboys either going to get on the plane and drink a lot of the amount of the bills in celebration, or they going to get on there and say, man, we need to pick up our game. And so right about now, I'm looking at a celebration, baby.
Celebration. Cowboys by how many?
1.
1 point.
Oh, we need 1.
That's all you need.
NFC East, dog.
All right, we got about a minute. Huge rivalry game. This game used to be big back when y'all played. I feel like Philly's kind of their big rival now.
Right.
What are rivalry games like?
Intense. You never know
Brutal.
what to do. I mean,
do whatever you got to do.
You do whatever you got to do.
Yes.
The unexpected. Expect somewhere in the game is going to be something that's
a blitz
unexpected.
you ain't seen or a pass route you. Yes.
Yes.
And just beat the.
And just physical.
Yeah, be physical, man.
Who do you think is the Cowboys' biggest rival right now, Corey?
I think it's still the Eagles. Like for me, and I was talking about this earlier today. It was San Francisco just because that blocked the path to get there. But I think the Eagles, they just consistently keep showing up in the division. So
what about you, Nate?
Oh, right now it's the Redskins, but I'm with him, the Eagles.
Washington football team. You almost made it the whole show. You tripped up right at the end.
I said the Washington football team.
What about you, Tony?
Let's see.
All right. Hey, Tony, thank you for joining us. Nate, thank you for being here. Corey, thanks for being here.
Washington football team.
Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?